Hailey, she had Rett syndrome, and she also had a chromosome duplication, and what happens with both of those items is that it jumps on an X chromosome and it basically destroys it. The unfortunate part with Rett syndrome is that it's like throwing darts at a dartboard. It creates a laundry list of health problems, and then eventually one of them gets you. And it's like playing a losing battle with time. You may get a few years, you may get 60 years. There's just no way of knowing, what the quality of life is going to be or how many years you get. And she got just shy of 10 years. To start, her pediatrician didn't think anything was wrong with her. We were just told on repeat for the first 3 years of her life that she was just slower than other kids. Eventually she would come into her own. It took us a lot of years to get someone to listen to us that, something else was wrong. And the doctors had started coming up on the floor to do rounds. And a peds neurologist was doing rounds with all these other doctors, and he came in. And I will never forget this. He looked down at her, he pointed at her, and he said, "She has Rett syndrome." And I asked him what that was. And he said, "Are you serious? You don't know what that is?" I said, "No, I've never heard of it before." I had always been of the understanding that Make-A-Wish was for children who had been deemed terminal. I had no idea that she would even qualify for it. Well, when we were trying to decide, we were trying to pick something, because Hailey could not speak for herself. She couldn't tell us what she wanted. We were just trying to think of something that we thought maybe she would enjoy. And a friend of mine had recommended Give Kids the World to go to Florida, because that's where she took her daughter. When you've got a medically fragile or a medically complex child like Hailey was, the good news doesn't come very often. And so it was a bit of a shock. It was a nice shock. The only thing that I asked for was that she get to feel the ocean on her skin before anything else happened. That was the only thing that I asked for, was for her to feel the ocean. And we did do that. The other thing that I had asked for, I guess, was so that the girls could see the Christmas decorations at Disney. That was a big thing, just getting to see the Christmas decorations at Disney. So that trip took away a lot of that stress. Gave us a moment to not think about it, to do your best to try to forget it for a minute. And we were able to. For that week that we were there, we didn't have to think about as much. And I knew that she was running out of time. I didn't know that it would happen the way it did. We drove because we weren't sure what putting her on an airplane would do to her. Mm-hmm. So we drove. We were in Putnam County, Missouri, and she was awake. She was laughing at her dad at a gas station. And then she went to sleep. And when she would go to sleep, she would let out this sigh. It was just like, when she would go to sleep. And that's exactly what she did that last time. And he opened the door, and that's when he found her. And he just whipped her out and, kind of tossed her on the ground and started CPR. And she hung on for just shy of 10 years. What if this had happened at home? And the doctors have even said, this would have happened at home. It would have happened there, or it would have happened here. It was just her time to go. Like, she was done. She was tired. And so I'm thankful that we went. Long term, or in the grand scheme of things, I am thankful that we went. I don't think people maybe don't think about what Make-A-Wish does. They don't think about, for some people, this is the only opportunity they'll get with that child to do something like that. They provided, the best last week of her life. Make-A-Wish does so much. They do so much for people. And And by making that improvement in the child's life, you improve the rest of the family's life. You do for others before you do for yourself. And raising money, you are helping people. You are helping so many people. And when it's all said and done, I am extremely thankful. Always going to be thankful. It's been 6 years and I'm still so thankful.